So today we're going to be talking about how to get started, how to look and feel good, and how we're going to get through the rest of the year as we enter upon the holiday season. Okay, we're going to be looking and feeling good all throughout the rest of the year. We're still locked in for 2025. It's not too late to start. It's not too late to get better, and we can do this. Hi friends. So today I'm going to be talking about pretty much the three things that I'm going to be doing and I would like for you to do with me for the next 5 days as we enter this holiday season. I really want to go back to hyper ketosis. This will be my first time back on hyper ketosis since probably, I can't even remember now, April or May. I was kind of maintaining doing keto on and off throughout the year. It has been a very crazy year for me emotionally, but I have not gained any weight. I haven't gained, well, it's up and down, but I have not been as big as I was in January. If you remember, and I'm going to pop up here on the screen, my face carried so much inflammation and weight at that time. It was like the biggest I had ever been, and I have not gotten back there. So I'm really thankful for that. And today I'm going to be sharing with you how I maintain that, what we can do for, like I said, to get started again, and how we're just going to maintain ourselves through this holiday season, girl. Because listen, Christmas is 9 Fridays away. Yes, 9. Okay, so we're entering a season of cooking, cookies and cakes and pies, sweets and parties, and, alcoholic drinks, all that stuff that we like to engage in, not necessarily for the food, but just to have those experiences with our family and friends. And of course, we're going to have those experiences. Of course, we're going to go to the cookie party, the cookie Christmas party, or of course, we're going to go to our kids' school Christmas party and have a snack and this and that. But it's important to allow yourself to, engage in that stuff, but not focus on it and harp on it and then feel bad and then start spiraling down and just eating and gorging. So these 3 tips that we're going to talk about today are going to help us. Now, first of all, I'm filming this today, October 19th. Is it October 19th? Yes, it's October 19th. So we're still a few weeks before it really starts. I feel like Halloween is like the start of everything candy, of everything sweets. It's the sugar time of the year, and it just keeps going and going and going. From Halloween, we go into Thanksgiving. From Thanksgiving, we go into Christmas, and then from Christmas, we go into New Year's. And then, girl, come January, we don't want our faces all bloated up like I was last year. Okay, so it's important that we kind of go through it and set ourselves up so that we don't, just get crazy for these next 3 months. It's a very, very slippery slope of just gorging, eating, not working out, not putting our health first. And it's just, we put all these, foods and experiences first at this time. So like I said, this is what we're going to talk about today. So number one, okay, the number one thing, and I'm starting with this right off the bat because I feel like not enough people talk about this, because this is the number one thing that will help you. It's not even about losing weight. You may want to lose weight. I mean, we all do pretty much, but we want to feel good too. We want to feel healthy. The number one thing when it comes to looking and feeling healthy and liking what you see in the mirror and not feeling that inflammation in your joints and stuff like that, especially if you're a woman of a certain age, is your mindset. Okay, it's your mindset. It's the biggest thing. Okay, because our mindset will help control our moods, what we put into our mouths, what we eat, how we feel. It's the mindset is one of the most important things. And the thing is, if we want to look and feel good, then we need to start acting like the person that you want to look like or that you want to feel like. Okay, if you want to feel healthy, you don't want to feel bloated, you want to just feel like you're in shape, then you got to start acting like that person. Because we're not going to get there continuing to act like our same selves and expect to have some sort of change. Okay, if we have the same habits, if we have the same kind of thoughts, we are going to be the same person. If we want to be the best version of ourselves, whether we want to be a certain weight, whether you want to feel good, you want to feel healthy, you want to have healthy blood work, then we have to start acting like that person. And this is really important part of the mindset of someone who wants to lose weight or wants to start a journey. You've got to work on how you act and think. You've got to think like a person, the person that you want to be. There's a fine line between self-sabotage and grace, right? And I'll be the first one, like, grant yourself grace. Of course we need to grant ourselves grace, especially in the climate that our world is in. It is so much stress. Every single time you look at the news, or even when you open your phone, it's like something is happening and it's very, very stressful. It's like a stressful time. I feel like everybody's stress level is elevated. And so you want to grant yourself grace, but you don't want to start self-sabotaging, because that's what it looks like when you say, you know what, I just want to bed rot for the rest of the weekend, or I just want to doom scroll for a couple of hours, or I just want to indulge in all this ice cream and cookies and stuff like that. It starts turning into self-sabotage. And that's where it gets really dicey. I'm not saying we can't, grant ourselves grace or forgive ourselves. Of course we want to do that. But you don't want it to keep going in the direction that you're going, especially if you want to be a different version of yourself that is healthier, that is maybe weighs less, that has healthy blood work, that doesn't have inflammation, all of that stuff. Again, you've got to start acting like the person, because everyone's tempted. Everyone is tempted to want to doom scroll. Everyone's tempted to not work out. Like, everybody goes through times where they don't feel like doing stuff. Even the healthiest people in the world, they don't want to go for a walk. They don't want to go for a run. They don't want to lift any weights. They don't want to stretch. But the difference between who you are and who you want to be is that the person that you want to be actually did it when they didn't feel like it. And so that's where it's important to not self-sabotage yourself. It's important to really have that discipline that you need, because every time you give in, it is a step backwards. Okay. So even though you maybe you gave in, you couldn't do it, it's still a step backwards, and we want to keep on moving forward towards your goal, whatever that may be. Now, I would like for our goal to be 5 days hyper ketosis starting on Monday, and just dig in. Okay. We're going to just do it for 5 days. Promise yourself, keep the promise to yourself, and you'll see that your confidence will rise, where you're proving to yourself, you know what, I can show up, I can be the person that I want to be. And I'm talking to myself too, y'all. I struggle too. We all have our struggles. But when you choose yourself and your goals and choose the person that you want to be, then it becomes easier. And also, when it comes to mindset, your thoughts and reflections are a result of your choices. Okay, so it's up to us to choose, okay, who we want to be, to choose how we want to feel, and have our actions result in that. So you don't want to choose, you know what, let's say you're hungry during this hyperketosis and you're just feeling like, oh, I just want some chips. Well, you have the choice there. Do I eat the chips, or do I stay true to, because I promised this to myself, okay? And as you'll see, when you start feeling better, those choices are going to reflect on how you feel about yourself and what you see in the mirror. Okay, so we want to definitely make sure that we're choosing to act like the version of ourselves that we want to be. That's the biggest thing. Like I said, the mindset, choosing to put yourself, the version of yourself first, and what she would choose, and how she would act. The mindset of, I'm going to be disciplined in this for sure. I want to do this. I want to prove it to myself. So really get into the mindset of practicing making the better choice for yourself at that time, and your actions will reflect in that. Number 2, the biggest thing for hyperketosis and just to keep the weight off, is a meal plan, girl. A meal plan and prep is imperative. Just sit down after you finish watching this video, plan out every single meal you're going to eat for the next 5 days. Now, I know it seems like a little daunting, and a lot of us have families, and I do have a family too, where it's like my kids aren't going to eat hyperketosis. My husband will do it with me, but like I still have to cook for my kids, and it's a lot of temptation. I get it. I understand. I'll be filming all of my meals throughout the week, and I'll be checking in with you guys, posting on my community tab. But just try to do it. Try to do what you can, and try to plan ahead of time. Okay, if you're interested and you need more help, you want a detailed meal plan, I have a guide listed in the description box that my friend Keita made. She has lost over 60 pounds on hyperketosis, have kept it off for a whole year, and her guide is impeccable. So I will leave the link in the description box if you need more guidance. But you don't have to use that, and you can just, create a meal plan for yourself. And as long as the meal plan follows the guidelines. So for hyperketosis, it's going to be, you're going to eat 2 meals a day. You're going to fast for 18 hours a day and have your eating window be 6 hours. So it is intermittent fasting incorporated with this, and the intermittent fasting is what really will project your weight loss. It will literally heals your body. It heals your cells. And now listen, I'm not a doctor, y'all. Check with your doctor if you're uncomfortable. If you're on certain medications, of course this isn't going to work for everybody, but for the people it does work for, I'm telling you, intermittent fasting is it. Okay, the fact that your body can like really rest at night instead of digesting food, it's just wonderful. So a lot of people, what they do is they'll eat from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's when you're going to eat your 2 meals. Now, I personally like to eat a little bit earlier, so my window of eating will be from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Now, sometimes it's hard to get dinner on the table. This is where the meal planning and prepping comes in, where if you feel like you're not going to be able to eat by 4 p.m., then have it already prepared where all you have to do is warm it up and eat wherever you're at during that time. Now, you don't have to do those times. You can do, and if a 6-hour eating window is too tight for you, you can do an 8-hour eating window and then fast for 16 hours. So whatever is comfortable for you. I've done this many times before. I'm comfortable with fasting for 18 hours, but if you want to start out, fast for 16 hours and then have your eating window be, from either 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. That works for a lot of people, especially if you work outside of the home and you have to commute. Eating dinner by 8 p.m. is great. And then you wouldn't eat again until 12 p.m. Or you can do 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For your eating window. Whatever is comfortable for you, as long as you're getting at least at a minimum 16 hours of fasting, you're good to go. But like I said, the meal planning and the meal prepping ahead of time is so important. So like I said, you're eating 2 meals per day. You're going to have, in each meal, you're going to have 4 ounces of protein, cooked protein. Now, I would definitely suggest you getting a scale and weighing it. Some of my favorite keto items, I will list, I'll leave a link for Amazon down below, like my scale that I use and all that. But you definitely want to weigh your protein because you don't want to overeat on your protein. So 4 ounces of protein for every meal, at least at a minimum 2 to 3 cups of a vegetable. Okay, now I prefer a low carb vegetable, so that's going to be like cauliflower, green beans, broccoli, zucchini, squash, in that family of vegetables. But, some people do hyperketosis, they'll eat a cup of carrots and be okay. I prefer, like I said, a lower carb vegetable, but as long as you get 2 to 3 cups of vegetables for each meal, then you're going to get 1 cup of a fruit. Now, I do a low carb fruit, so that's something in the berries family. But some people will eat a cup of apples, or a cup of grapefruit. Whatever you want to do is fine. I like to keep my sugar low, because I know that I'm insulin resistant, and it's best to keep the sugar to a minimum. And so I will eat berries. So a cup of berries works, and then that's it. That's what you eat for each meal. So you're really getting full off the protein and the vegetables. And at first it may feel odd to your stomach to have so many vegetables. You may feel a little gassy. That's TMI, but it's okay. We're close. We're close enough to talk like this. Stick to it. It is okay. It's kind of like your body's way of like, oh my gosh, what is all these good nutrient foods that I'm eating? But it's a normal response to like be a little gassy. It's okay. That's a normal thing. Keep going. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to hop in, talk about when it comes to meal plan is you want to make sure that you're getting your electrolytes. For me, I use a little bit of Celtic salt on the tongue every morning. That is enough for me. Some people there's like a powder element, I think, powder that a lot of people use. I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I've heard great things about it from people in my real life that use it to get your electrolytes in. There's lots of forms of those online. For me, the salt works. If you feel yourself getting lightheaded or dizzy, you're probably dehydrated, because the other thing is water is key. Water, water, water. Drink, even if you think you're drinking a lot of water, drink some more, okay? A little Celtic sea salt on the tongue, and you're drinking your water. That's enough electrolytes for me. But again, if you feel yourself getting weak, look into those powder electrolytes that flavor a lot of the water that you drink. If water's boring to you, it's just a way to spice up the water and make it better tasting for you. Now, some people, and I do this too, they will drink a zero carb drink, like a seltzer water, like a bubbly or Waterloo or something like that that has zero sugar in it. You can have that as well. I usually just drink 1 can, and that's at dinner. It's like a treat for myself. So that's the details of what is allowed to eat, and you're gonna feel so good too, y'all. By the end of the 5 days, you're gonna feel good. Now for me, at the end of the 5 days, I'm gonna transition back into keto like I have been for the past couple of weeks, and we'll just see how we feel. We'll see how we feel, and it's a good way to kind of like de-bloat and kind of clean your system out, especially since we know these next couple of weeks it's gonna be candy everywhere, okay? And you may have a couple of pieces of candy. It's okay to just hop back in. Once you're done, hop back in. Don't just throw away the whole week or throw away the whole month or throw away the next 3 months because you feel like you're going to be tempted and eat a little bit every day. It is okay. The third thing that is really big is going to be that you've got to keep disciplined. Okay? It's not about motivation because motivation comes and goes. It's your discipline that counts. Be disciplined with yourself. Okay? And the way that you can increase your discipline is by giving yourself like small wins that you do every single day. That's a win, you know, and celebrate yourself for that. Tell yourself, that's great, you did really good at that. And then you'll start seeing yourself being more disciplined with other areas where it's a little bit hard. So if you woke up in the morning and you drank your water only, congratulations. If you drank your coffee black, congratulations, that's a small win. That's another thing you're allowed to have is black coffee only, because there is no dairy on this diet, on hyper ketosis at all. So there's no heavy cream or creamer in your coffee. You can put a sweetener in your coffee if you like it, but you know what? I learned to just like black coffee. I started drinking black coffee and it was fine for me. But that's a small win too. You know, if you did good the first day, that's a huge win, and you need to celebrate yourself. Celebrate the small wins, okay? Because if we're always like so focused on anytime we fail or anytime we didn't do something good, okay, you should have that same love, that same energy for when you do something great, when you do the right thing, when you made the right choice. Celebrate yourself. It's okay to celebrate yourself, okay? Even if nobody else wants to celebrate you, you've got to be your own cheerleader. You've got to celebrate yourself, and that is when the discipline will start coming more and more easier to you when it arises, because it may be where we just don't feel like working out, or we just don't feel like stretching, or we just don't feel like moving our bodies. Listen, this is where the discipline really comes in, because you know you'll feel good afterwards. It's just getting started. Get started. Go on that walk every single day. Move your body every single day. Stretch. If you're able, then go for it. Do it. Look at it like it's a blessing, because it is. And be grateful for that, that you're able to, and just do it. So that is all I have for you today. I'm so excited to go on this 5-day sprint with you all. Can't wait to hear the results. I personally like to weigh in every single day. You do not have to do that if that's triggering for you. You can just go by how you feel, and you know, how you feel mentally and physically. But I personally do like to weigh in every single day when I am on hyper ketosis. So we'll see the results at the end of the 5 days. Again, I will be filming all of my meals to show you guys, and then we'll just go from there. I cannot wait to hear how you guys succeeded and how you all feel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.